Okay, people, hello. Part 3 of the ancient... Well, we're going to interpret what Rollright means, the Rollright stones, what CALLANISH means, what Carnac means, what Menher or the Men and Toll. I saw this on Twitter because it's so similar to the stones of the Caucasus with the hole in it. What's it all about? What's going on? What do these names mean? And we're going to say what they mean in the video. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope, these are interpretations. They don't have to be correct, but they're interpretations. So the Rollright stones in central England made up of 3 different things. The King's Stone, the Rollright Stone Circle, the Whispering Knights. Well, what's going on here? And we're going to explain it. Let's zoom in and have a look from the ground. It's a nice spot. So this is where you would park your car. That's the car park. It's not a well-known site. You can see a stone there in the oh, there they are. There they are, you see. And people don't know. People really don't know much about this site, but it's brilliant. It's like Stonehenge. But it's a smaller version. And these are the King's Men. Ooh, they're called King's Men. Now, we don't know what Rollright means, so let's interpret that right now. So the interpretation is very simple. The rule of Rod, of Rudra, this is the rule or the king. So rule, what does rule mean? Rule actually means, in Polish, a cruel, someone who's cruel is a king. A cruel, it's a ruler. Someone with a rod, a priest wise man holding a rod is a ruler, is a king. And straight away we see here, well, it's the King's Men. Now, why are they men? Now, we're going to keep getting back to the word men. It's in Menher, it's in Men and Toll. What's going on with all this? So, well, let's get to it. Let's look at these pictures. Okay, it's in Oxfordshire. That's what they look like. Very gnarly looking stones. Stone means, the thing about the word stone, it means stein, which is rock, but it's the same word as stand, isn't it? The root is the same. It's something that's standing up. So the word stone actually comes from a stone monument. It's the same word. It is the rule of Rudra, and if you want to learn about Rudra, you can do it in Wikipedia, associated with wind or storm, the hunt, the roarer. This was a Slav god as well, but all that information has been destroyed, but it's preserved in India, and he's a four-headed god, like the pyramids are four-faced. That means he's similar to Brahma, and in fact one of his ancestors is Brahma, which means the world, the universe. And so he's a ruler of the world. So it is the Rollright is the rule of Rudra, and hence he's a ruler as a king. Now, what about the word men? So we'll get to men when let's do men. Okay. So this is the Men and Toll monument, and apparently it just means hole in the stone in Cornish, but that's not satisfying because where we see the word men used, Menher, there isn't necessarily a hole in a stone. It's just occurred to me, this looks like the sun, this looks like the earth, this looks like the anti-earth in Pythagoreanism, which is one way of looking at it. The sun in Pythagoreanism was a lens focusing a central fire onto the inhabitants of the earth, or I guess the anti-earth. That's an interesting monument there. Now, the thing is, these look like teeth. I've put theories out saying these are basically teeth. We'll see why they are teeth. I can prove they're teeth. We'll see why in a moment, but let's look at men first. Now, to understand what man or men means, in Old Germanic, it doesn't just mean the male adult. It means children. It means everyone. It means mankind, the women as well. Everyone is a man, is a men. Is Menschen. It means people. Menschen means people in German. It's people. It's everyone. And if you really want to get back to what the word means. It comes from Noah's Ark. And we'll see why. In the Egyptian alphabet, N is the water. It's basically, it's the water. And the word M, here is the owl, but it's actually 3 wavy lines as well. And N is 1 wavy line, or M is a longer wavy line, and N is a shorter wavy line, as we see in the English language as well. So in other words, if you were to write the word men in English, or in Egyptian and in English, it's a huge wavy line. It's a huge wavy line. It's the waters, it's cosmic waters, or it's the waters of the earth. And in fact, Herodotus told us the first Egyptian king was called Men, and he actually built canals, and he built waterways, and he tamed the river. And so this comes from the priests reading the old chronicles and saying, well, I can see there's water here in the name man. And if you look at the man word, it comes from basically it does come from Manu, and Manu Manus is hand, but so it's the maker. It's something with a hand, but it's also it's mentio, it's brain, someone who thinks, but it's also remain. It's someone who remains after the flood, because Manu is the one who remains after the flood. So if we look in the, and it doesn't even go into, I don't think it goes into Manu in this, so we just have to type it. So Manu, Manu, oh dear, Manu, God. So Manu is the one, is the Hindu Noah. So it could be the earliest Noah. It's the one who remains. And he saved mankind. The fish helped tow his boat, which looks a bit like a Viking boat. It's got a swan here. And this is the God. This is the one. And the current universe is asserted to be ruled by the 7th Manu, called Vaivasvata, was the king of Dravida before the Great Flood. Vata is water. And this is where the word man comes from. Oh, I had it there all along. Now, it occurs to me that at Karahan Tepe, and we've talked on Twitter about this, I don't want to get too much into this because my colleagues are studying it, so I won't touch it, but these are men, because the stones are men, the ones who remain, and that's a pool of water. Yeah. Anyway, so CALLANISH. What does CALLANISH means? Now, these are teeth. I'll get into that in a moment when we get to Carnac. But what does CALLANISH mean? So it's the Norse word. Kalla is actually the Norse word for call. And I'm not even basically. I'm not really using the British, even using the British language. I'm just using Germanic, because who was there before the Britons arrived? Now, Briton, what does it mean? It means, the word is in Welsh. There is a Welsh word, braud, brother. In Polish, it's brat. It's brother. This is the tribe of brothers. In other words, it's a kind of confederation. The Britons are a sort of confederation of tribes in a desperate time, calling themselves brothers. And they have European, what they use, it's a European language as well. So it doesn't matter what European language you use, you're going to see the same words chopping and changing, swapping between the languages. CALLANISH it means, Kalla is summon. It's the place of summoning. That's it. So let's get to Carnac. Carnac in France, we see it's on a coastal, what does it mean? It's on a coastal route of Britain. It's in a very convenient place. And when you look at the alignments, what they actually are, it's near the city called Vannes. It's which is interesting. That city must be very old. Let's look at satellite view and let's find the alignments. Oh boy, there's a garden there. There's a house of megaliths. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what these are solar alignments. These are cursuses, and they go on, and we've shown that these are basically, that's one snake meeting another snake. It's just like at Stonehenge, but it's a cursus made up of stones, and you don't see this in England. They did a shortcut. They only did the outer. They only drew the outer edge of it. You see, over here somewhere is the head of the snake or something. Yeah, that could be the head there. And there's a few more stones here. That's what it is. It's a cursus, but it's made up of stones. It's made up of standings, in other words, and they're men standing up after the flood. Are these monuments built to commemorate Manu or Noah or whatever you want to call him? So what does Carnac mean? Well, when you zoom into these things, they basically, they're teeth of the snake, they're teeth of the serpent, because a cursus is a serpent. Look at all these French people coming in here to have a look. So that's the car park. Oh, it's nice. It's nice, the visitor centre, and you can just cross the road and go. You can go straight in. That's good. And it's basically, they're sharp teeth, they're pointed teeth. Carnival. It basically, carn is a tooth. Corn is a horn. These are Latin words, and it's the teeth of the snake, and it's a snake full of teeth. It's like the snake itself is full of stones. It's kind of like Kronos being full of stones. Zeus sort of filled him up with stones or something like that. It's the world. It's Kronos, made up of stones. Isn't that interesting? And it just goes on and on and on. These people put so much work into their religion. This was a very strong religion, real, king in Spanish, or it's something that is real. It's a god that is real. It's a ruler. It's a god. So Carnac, the word is related to curl, because a tooth has a curve or a curl. And obviously, I think this is where the word girl comes from, something that has curves, curls. The tooth is curvy, and we have the geometric word curve from carn or tooth, because all teeth have curves. They're curved things. So these are the root words. We've looked at the root words of Rollright, of Carnac, of CALLANISH, of Manantol. Tol is Dal, the Caucasus god. These are the words. We've looked at Manu, a god of the waters. He's a water god. In Egyptian, you just write it literally as water. So this religion must have been in Egypt as well. It was a very strong religion. They gave hieroglyphs to the Egyptians. You know, I hope you've enjoyed looking at these things. I just wanted to make a quick video to show you this stuff, and I hope you like it. Okay.